This is another victory against the abusers targeting Trump, not only in the Justice Department, but down there in Fulton County. So we had a nice little victory in court the other day against the Biden gang over their refusal to give us information about their communications with Fani Willis. You remember Fani Willis, right? I'm trying to find the press release here. Forgive me. Here it is. So Fani Willis, you may recall, was found to be in default in a Judicial Watch lawsuit for records about her collusion that we thought was happening with the Justice Department and the January 6th committee. She didn't answer the lawsuit, and the court found her in default. She didn't show up and answer. And one of the sanctions as a result of that is that she had to pay us attorney's fees. Well, we finally got the money. It was 10 days late, but she did send us the attorney's fees. It was nearly $22,000. Don't ask me if we cashed the check. I'm sure we will or have. And she was ordered to search for and release documents about her collusion or in response to our requests for communications with the Pelosi January 6th gang and Jack Smith, DOJ, etc. She said she had no documents with Jack Smith, but she said she had documents showing communications with Pelosi for confirming the collusion in the efforts to get Donald Trump. But of course, Judicial Watch being as, I don't know if it's savvy, it would make sense that we would ask both parties for records, right? Now, Congress typically isn't subject to FOIA requests or open records requests, but the Justice Department is. And so what we did was we asked for, and when we got the hand to the face, we sued the Justice Department for records on their, any documents they had. Let me see. Let me read the exact request. We sued in October 2023 after the Department of Justice failed to comply with an August 2023 Freedom of Information Act request for records detailing, quote, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office requesting or receiving federal funds or other federal assistance regarding the investigations of Donald Trump and others. Pretty simple request. On December 18, 2023, the Justice Department issued its final response to this request, refusing to confirm or deny the existence of responsive records. It argued that releasing the records could reasonably be expected to interfere with law enforcement proceedings. So that can be a hurdle, right? And I think it's garbage, but sometimes the courts defer to the Justice Department in matters like that. But what happened since was the Trump stuff was shut down. There were no federal court proceedings involving Trump. Did they tell the court that? No, because they wanted to cover something up. That's my view. But the court said, no, I see what you did there. And the court essentially ordered the Justice Department to provide information on Special Counsel Jack Smith's communications with Fani Willis. Judge Dabney Friedrich of the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, so she's a judge in the federal court here in D.C., ruled that because the cases against Trump were closed, the Justice Department arguments against disclosure were no longer applicable. Since DOJ filed its motion for summary judgment and supporting declaration in March 2024, the Special Counsel's criminal enforcement actions have been terminated, the court wrote. The cases are closed, not pending or contemplated, and therefore are not proceeding with which disclosure may interfere. Thus, the agency's sole justification for invoking the Glomar exemption. You can look up Glomar. It's a fun story. Glomar. That's the legal case that justifies the I can't confirm or deny exception that the government sometimes uses. Now, what do they use it? What's it designed to be used for? What is it typically used for? Let's say the CIA is asked for, give me a list of spies that you have sitting in the Kremlin. Well, the CIA is going to come back. I can't confirm or deny whether there are any spies there, because one way or the other, it's going to be helpful to our enemies. Now, why on earth that would apply to communications with a district attorney in Georgia trying to jail a former president of the United States? Obviously it doesn't, but that's what the argument was. And the court wrote, accordingly, because there are no cases, the court will deny DOJ's motion for summary judgment. So the Justice Department lost against Judicial Watch in their efforts to squelch our requests for information on any collusion they had with Fani Willis, and grant the plaintiff's cross motion. DOJ is directed to process plaintiff Judicial Watch's request and either, quote, disclose any responsive records or establish both that their contents are exempt from disclosure and that such exemption has not also been waived. President Trump truly needs to overhaul, a Freudian slip. It doesn't mean a word. It's not really a word, but it still sounds funny. President Trump truly needs to overhaul the Justice Department from top to bottom. It is a scandal that a federal court had to order the Justice Department to admit the truth that their objections to producing records about collusion with Fani Willis no longer had any basis in reality. So we have many FOIA lawsuits still pending on the Jack Smith investigations. For example, he has been, and the Justice Department still is, hiding the names of the top prosecutors that were working for him in the efforts to try to jail Trump. That case is, I think, before the appeals court. Hey, Pam Bondi, Madam Attorney General, call your office. What's going on there? Give us the documents. But this is another victory against the abusers targeting Trump, not only in the Justice Department, but down there in Fulton County. And again, this is what I love about Judicial Watch. I love a lot of things about Judicial Watch, is that we just don't give up. Now, there are times when we have to stop because the court says you've lost. But these cases, in this case, it took nearly 2 years. We're coming on 2 years before we're going to even fully litigate the issue of what documents they have or don't have. Because for nearly a year and a half, they told us, we can't even tell you whether we were colluding with Fani Willis. Again, that was the position of this Justice Department. We can't even tell you if we talked to Fani. So, when I say overhaul the Justice Department, I think that's being charitable. That's the sort of corruption and secrecy and scandal that we were facing. And we've had to fight in federal court. So we're thankful for the court for, I guess, stating the obvious, right? There's no cases, so what's the issue? What were you doing? So this is part of the reckoning and the accountability for the worst corruption in American history, the misuse of federal, state, law enforcement, or the power to jail in order to retaliate and violate the civil rights of President Trump and other American citizens. Fani Willis lost, and now the Justice Department is lost on the issue of any potential collusion issues related to Trump. Again, Judicial Watch's heavy lifting gets results, and it's only because of the persistence and really expert lawyering by our team that we're able to get the results we are able to get. And I would say, and I would be remiss if I did not say, without your support, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So I encourage you to continue to support Judicial Watch. Go to judicialwatch.org if you're haven't supported us before, or if you have, go on over there and give us another donation, because you kind of see the work we're able to do as a result. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.